Olivia, and welcome back to Live in Literature. Thank you so much for all the love and support I've received on these last few videos, and if you enjoyed them, do not forget to like and comment and subscribe and send this video to your friends so that they can check out my channel. Okay guys, as you can see from the title, I am so excited to share this video with you today because these are the books that I grew up with. These are the books that I am so passionate about because they're the ones that like totally shaped my journey.
Tonight, the journey begins again.
As a reader, and they're the ones that I still like go back to from time and time again to like look at and be like,
oh, like, remember when I was her, like I was that girl and now I'm this girl?
who's that girl? So, like, it's kind of cute. It's very nostalgic for me. I love the books that I grew up reading. I think that they really shaped me as a reader, like in the best way possible. I will link all of the authors and where you can buy the books down below so that you guys can check out these books if you want to read them. So here is what I grew up reading, and let's get started. And throughout this video, I'm going to try and go in chronological order of like my like younger childhood to more like my like
angsty teenage phase.
He was a skater boy, she said see you later boy.
Basically give you guys like kind of like a picture of like kind of like where I started and where I kind of ended and like where I am now. And so I'm just going to start like kind of at the beginning. The first book / book series I want to talk about is one that is near and dear to my heart. It's basically the first thing that I like, first book series I truly ever finished / read. And that is Little House on the Prairie by Laura Ingalls Wilder. And if you're not familiar with Little House on the Prairie,
You need to get on Laura Ingalls Wilder freaking level.
Get on my level.
because it is amazing. It is a book series that is like the closest to my heart. It is like my very first like full book series I ever finished. There's 9 books. And I absolutely loved this book series when I was a kid. It's all I read. And I'll be honest, this is like, I read only historical fiction. From like the ages of like 9 to like 12, 13 years old, I only read historical fiction. It was the only type of genre that I ever picked up.
That's weird.
I don't know why. I just like had such a fascination with, I guess, like olden times and like the time before, like when things were different and things like that. I don't know. But I had like wild fantasies of this book series. Like I imagined like my life out on the prairie
And growing up with my strong husband and us making our log cabin together and like raising our children on the plains with their little bonnets and...
In case you haven't noticed, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo.
When I was 12 years old, that's all I wanted. I wanted to live out in the plains and like have adventures out in the wild, like out in the forest and in the prairie, and like
Just do things with my bare hands and like get down and dirty and like go through the trials and the hardships, but the love that you feel when you're like, you do a job well done.
Do you think George Washington had a pet cat?
Yeah.
He didn't. No? He hunted them. And he made milk and butter out of their spoils.
I don't know. Maybe I was a weird kid and I just really enjoyed historical fiction for some reason. But that was like what my ish was. When I was like between the ages of like 9 to 12 years old, like my ish was Laura Ingalls Wilder. And I will insert a very embarrassing picture of me when I finished the book series. And it's pretty cute though, I'll be honest.
She said I'm cute! Ha!
And I just loved it. When I was younger, it was the stuff that like, it was like that good stuff that was just like wholesome and pure, but also like really heartfelt. And yeah, I love Laura Ingalls Wilder. I think she's amazing. I think she's an incredible author. Everyone should read her books. And so yeah, the next book series I want to talk about and should not go unmentioned. It is one of the most, I will say, iconic book series of all times. And if you never heard of this book series when you were younger, I don't know what you were doing.
You need to get on our freaking level.
But it is Brandon Mull's Fablehaven. Fablehaven! Oh my god!
I am bursting with excitement.
I was such a nerd. I loved Fablehaven. When I was younger, and fun fact, his book, the 4th book that came out, I don't remember when it came out. I can only tell you that I was probably in the 5th or 6th grade. His 4th book came out. It was the first and only book signing that I've ever been to in person, and I actually got to meet him, and it was one of the best days of my life.
It's the best day ever.
Like, we went to Barnes & Noble and I got like a Viola the cow, you know, like from the first book, Viola cow milkshake and a fairy cookie. And I had him sign my 4th book and I got to ask him one question and I asked him who his favorite character was. And he said his favorite character was Seth, which I was like,
Okay, Seth's the baddie. We love him. He's great.
overall, I
Absolutely, thoroughly, completely.
Truly, madly, deeply, I am.
enjoyed his books. I think he's such a talented author. I think that he wrote such an interesting and unique world. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Fablehaven,
Basically follows the story of Kendra and Seth, these two brother and sister who end up moving in with their grandparents for the summer in this home. And it turns out that like in the backyard there's this whole like enchanted realm of like magical creatures that this family is like the caretaker of. And they're finding all this out for that first summer. That's what basically the first book is about.
I loved Fablehaven. I thought it was the first, I'll be honest, this type of book genre doesn't really like pique my interest anymore, but when I was younger, I was super into it. And it's basically the genre of like modern and fantasy coming together. As a kid, I dreamed of that.
Find your humanity! Haven't any of you ever had a dream?
I was here for like that escapism as a kid, and I was like,
Man, like I just wish there was like a fairy realm in my backyard and I could go like hang out with the magical creatures.
I was that kid during recess, and my friends my friends all from elementary school can all attest to this. We're all still friends. They can all attest that we would like pick different mythological characters to play and like play Fablehaven like outside at recess. Like,
You're all so nerdy, it makes me physically ill.
nerd alert. I know. We were nerds. And honestly, good times though. Also, can we just like throw back to like recess outside and like going to like hang out outside of recess? I miss recess. I don't know about you guys, but I miss recess. But anyways, and I thought that his world that he created was so inviting and fun. It was an amazing book series to read. Everyone should read it, so go read Fablehaven. The next one cannot go unmentioned. It is probably the single most popular / greatest fantasy / YA book series ever.
Like ever. Like
On planet Earth. I think it's probably the biggest and most popular, most well-known book series on planet Earth.
You know him, you love him.
And his name is John C.
Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson series.
We're not even surprised.
Hey, I'm not surprised.
Let's be real. Percy Jackson is that guy.
Oh my gosh, he is that guy.
Who's that guy? Percy Jackson shaped a generation of millennials / Gen Zers who wanted to be demigods. You know, I'm talking to all of you out there who are
You talking to me?
like, I'm House of Poseidon, I'm Zeus, I'm Aphrodite.
Like, literally, like, just shut up.
Like, you know you were that kid.
I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it.
You were that kid who was like, I have water powers. Like, I have water powers like Percy Jackson.
Yeah. I think I am the son of Poseidon.
Shut up. Like, I know that you were that kid. I was that kid, okay? I was also that kid in the back of the classroom, like whenever it was the Greek mythology unit in 6th grade, and I was like,
Excuse me, like in the actual myth is supposed to be like this.
According to my research,
Like, thank you, Rick Riordan, for making me look like a fetching idiot in my 6th grade class when I'm talking about Percy Jackson instead of actual Greek mythology.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.
yeah, I know. But I will say it did give me an edge, though, when I, like, knew all the myths and all of the gods and stuff when I was in school, so, like, just saying thank you, Rick, for that one.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Percy Jackson, what more can you say? He was that guy. And let's be real, he was also, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're out there thinking this.
He was your first book boyfriend.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
He was. He was your first book boyfriend, and he was my first book boyfriend. I'm not even ashamed to say it. He was.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Percy Jackson with that dark, gorgeous hair and those sea green eyes. Are you kidding me?
He would never do anything to hurt me.
He's a guy.
He was that guy. He's still, I think, I would honestly, yeah, I would still consider him my top 10, like, fictional boyfriends. He's in the top 10 fictional boyfriends list for me. Percy Jackson is the man. And he shaped a generation of people with like the snarky comments and like, once again, the urban fantasy, which like, once again, for some reason, like that kind of like writing for me now is not my favorite like style, like my favorite genre to read. But when I was younger, I ate it up. I was like, urban fantasy all the day. Let's go. Like, we are in New York and we are like fighting like we were having like a war, and it's like a whole thing. And like, I love that it's in like a modern setting. I lived for it when I was younger. It was everything and more. I'm a huge fan of Rick Riordan. I think that everyone should read his books. And if you haven't, like, where have you been for the past, I don't know, like 17 years? Get on our level, okay? He's amazing. Percy Jackson's amazing. And also, no more hate on Percy Jackson, because let's be real, like, People were like,
Percy Jackson's dumb, like it's for kids.
No, shut up. It's amazing and everyone should read it.
I won't argue with that logic.
this last series needs no introduction, basically from me. I don't know if anyone else has read this book series, but it is the book series that truly, utterly, and absolutely
Changed me as a reader forever.
Drumroll please for the book series. It is The Tiger's Curse by Colleen Hunt. Wow.
Am I supposed to be impressed?
You should be.
The Tiger's Curse. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of this book series, but it is the book series that literally changed my life. Like, I was obsessed, like on a whole new level.
And you're like, Olivia, like, I thought you were you're always crazy. And I'm like, you're right, I was crazy.
You're entirely bonkers.
But this is where like the crazy took a turn into like insane.
Oh, you can't help that. Most everyone's mad here.
Like, I can't even tell you. Like, I was obsessed with this book series. Like, okay, give you a quick plot summary of the book.
It's about a girl named Kelsey who lives in Oregon. She's adopted from these parents. She's an orphan technically. She's adopted from her parents, whatever. She goes to see a circus one day that's like happening in town, and there's a white tiger that like she sees at the circus, and it turns out he's an Indian prince under a spell, and they have to go to India, and she's the only one who can break the curse on this tiger. There we go, the tiger's curse.
I'm like so embarrassed because I know how I was, but between the ages of 14 and 16, like no one should have ever even talked to me because I was so fetching and annoying. I was
It's like, have you read the tiger's curse? Have you heard of the tiger's curse?
Why do you act so weird?
like, I was that girl. Like so the tiger, like Ren is his name, the tiger, the prince. He's a white tiger with cobalt blue eyes. I owned white tiger earrings. I had a humongo white tiger stuffed animal. I only chewed Take 5 cobalt blue gum because it was the same color as his eyes.
This is so humiliating.
Like, I know that I was insane, but like, I didn't realize how cringe I was. Like, that is so cringe.
I can't believe you've done this.
And Ren, the boy, he became my ultimate heartthrob.
He was my ultimate OG book boyfriend. Like Percy Jackson, yes, like obviously Percy Jackson. Ren though, trumped everyone.
Seriously? It's like you're photoshopped.
I was obsessed with this man. Like, I slept, bled, and read Ren. It was all I thought about was him. He was literally my ultimate first book boyfriend. It's so embarrassing.
7 o'clock, wrestle with my self-loathing. I'm booked.
But if I'm being honest, my obsession with that book series, like, it like ruined me as a human.
No. Look away, I'm hideous.
Like, for those of you who knew me at ages like 14 to 16 years old, I'm sorry. Like, I was such a cringe human. I'm sorry. It's really, really cringy. But I will tell everyone now, if you have never read The Tiger's Curse, you need to go and read The Tiger's Curse immediately. It is the book series worth reading. It will change your life. It'll make you want to go to India and meet Indian princes and find tigers and go on adventures and solve curses and all this kinds of stuff. Well, that's all the books that I have to talk about today, so thank you so much for joining me on the Live in Literature channel. Please do not forget to like and comment and subscribe and share this video with your friends. And I am so grateful to you guys. You guys are seriously the best. I'm so glad that you've been enjoying the videos. Please don't forget to comment down below if there is a video and or book review that you would like me to do or a certain type of video that you would like me to film. I would be happy to film it for you. But thank you so much for all of your love and support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!